Budgeting made simple. 3 easy steps to master your money. When most people hear the word budget, they immediately picture a life of restriction. They imagine cutting up credit cards, saying no to every dinner invitation, and agonizing over the cost of a morning cup of coffee. This misconception is exactly why so many individuals avoid looking at their finances altogether, inadvertently trapping themselves in a cycle of financial stress. But the truth about budgeting is profoundly different. A budget is not a set of handcuffs. It is a roadmap to financial freedom. It is the fundamental blueprint that allows you to shift from merely surviving paycheck to paycheck to actually building generational wealth. Mastering your money doesn't require a degree in advanced economics or a complex web of spreadsheets. It requires a shift in mindset and the implementation of a few fundamental systems. The path to financial independence is paved with straightforward, repeatable actions. By simplifying the process into 3 actionable steps, you can eliminate the overwhelm, identify the hidden leaks in your cash flow, and start directing your capital toward acquiring assets rather than accumulating liabilities. Here is the 3-step framework to make budgeting simple, sustainable, and highly effective. Okay, step 1, the comprehensive financial assessment. Understand your figures. You cannot manage what you do not measure. The absolute first step in taking control of your financial destiny is pulling back the curtain on your current reality. For numerous individuals, this represents the most daunting aspect of the procedure. It forces you to confront the daily financial habits that might be quietly draining your wealth. Track everything for 30 days. To begin your audit, you must track every single transaction you make for an entire month. This means looking at your bank statements, credit card bills, and cash expenditures. Do not rely on estimates. Human beings are notoriously bad at estimating their own spending. We tend to remember the large fixed expenses like rent or a car payment, but we completely forget the impulsive online purchases, the subscription services we never use, and the daily convenience spending. This 30-day tracking period is an eye-opening diagnostic test. It acts as a mirror, reflecting your true priorities back to you. You might discover that while you claim to value saving for the future, your spending data shows that you actually value dining out or upgrading your electronics more. Identify the wealth-draining habits. As you categorize your spending, look closely for the insidious money habits that keep people trapped in a cycle of scarcity. These are often small, recurring expenses that seem harmless in isolation, but act as a massive leak in your financial bucket over time. Paying for convenience, ignoring late fees, carrying high-interest consumer debt, and succumbing to lifestyle creep, where your spending increases every time your income increases, are classic examples. During this audit, your goal is not to judge yourself or feel guilty. Your objective is merely to collect information. You're establishing your financial baseline. Write down your total net income for the month, exactly what hits your bank account after taxes, and subtract your total expenses. If the resulting number is negative, you are living beyond your means and financing your lifestyle with debt. If the figure is exactly 0, you are navigating a precarious situation without any safety measures. If the number is positive, you have a surplus to work with, but the goal is to optimize that surplus. By the end of this step, you should have a crystal clear understanding of exactly how much money is coming in, exactly where it is going out, and which financial habits need to be broken. Step 2. The proportional distribution. Allocate your funds. Once you know where your money has been going, it is time to dictate where it should go. This is where you transition from being a passive observer of your finances to an active director. The easiest way to allocate your income without getting bogged down in micromanaging every penny is to use a proportional framework. The 50-30-20 rule is a highly effective, time-tested strategy that divides your net income into three distinct buckets: needs, wants, and your financial future. 50%, the essentials, needs. 50% of your net income ought to be designated for your essential needs. These are the expenses that you must pay to maintain your baseline standard of living. This category includes housing, rent or mortgage, essential groceries, basic utilities, water, electricity, heat, essential transportation, a reliable vehicle or public transit to get to work, and minimum debt payments. If your essentials are consuming 60%, 70%, or even 80% of your income, this is a glaring red flag. It means you are structurally house poor or car poor, and you have severely limited your ability to build wealth. In this scenario, you have two choices: drastically reduce your living expenses by downsizing, or aggressively increase your income through skill development, a new career path, or secondary revenue streams. 30%, the lifestyle, wants. Budgeting fails when it is too restrictive. If you cut out all joy and entertainment, you will eventually experience budget burnout and revert to old destructive habits. Therefore, 30% of your income is designated for your lifestyle. This encompasses dining out, vacations, hobbies, entertainment, and non-essential shopping. This is the category where you have the most flexible control. It requires you to be brutally honest about the difference between a need and a want. A reliable car to get to work is a need. A luxury car with a massive monthly payment is a want. And more importantly, a rapidly depreciating liability. By capping your lifestyle expenses at 30%, you guarantee that you can enjoy the fruits of your labor today without sabotaging your tomorrow. 20%, the financial engine, savings and investments. This final 20% is the most critical component of the entire framework. This is the money that buys your future freedom. It is the capital you use to build an emergency fund, aggressively pay down toxic high-interest debt, and, most importantly, acquire income-producing assets. The golden rule of money is that it must be put to work. If you simply leave your surplus cash in a checking account, its purchasing power will be slowly eroded by inflation. Instead, this 20% must be channeled into investments that leverage the phenomenal power of compound interest. Compound interest is the financial force multiplier that allows your money to make money, and then allows that new money to make even more money. Whether you are investing in broad market index funds, real estate, or a small business, this 20% is your wealth-building engine. Over time, the goal is to shift your financial focus away from acquiring liabilities, things that take money out of your pocket, like expensive cars or designer clothes, and toward acquiring assets, things that put money into your pocket, like investments, real estate, or intellectual property. As your income grows, you can challenge yourself to increase this bucket from 20% to 30%, 40%, or even higher, accelerating your journey to financial independence. Step 3. Systematization and automation. Put it on autopilot. You have audited your past and allocated your future. The third and final step is to remove human error and lack of willpower from the equation entirely. If you have to manually move money into your savings account or investment portfolio every single month, you will eventually fail. Life gets busy, emergencies happen, or the temptation to spend that money on a new gadget becomes too strong. The secret to sustainable wealth creation is automation. You must build a financial machine that operates in the background of your life without requiring your constant attention. Pay yourself first. The most transformative financial habit you can adopt is paying yourself first. Before the rent is paid, before the utility bills are settled, and long before you buy a coffee, a portion of your income must automatically be routed to your future. Set up an automatic transfer with your bank so that the moment your paycheck hits your checking account, your 20% allocation for savings and investments is immediately siphoned off into separate accounts. If you never see the money in your primary checking account, you will not be tempted to spend it. You adapt your lifestyle to live on the remaining 80%. Separate your accounts.
To make the 50-30-20 rule work seamlessly, it helps to use multiple bank accounts. Maintain one primary checking account for your 50% needs. All of your fixed, essential bills should be put on auto pay from this account.
Open a second, separate checking account for your 30% wants. Transfer this exact allowance over every payday. When this account runs dry, your discretionary spending for the month is over. No exceptions. This creates a hard boundary that prevents you from dipping into your rent money to fund a weekend trip. Finally, ensure your 20% financial engine money is automatically routed to a high-yield savings account for your emergency fund and your brokerage or retirement accounts for your investments. The annual review. While the day-to-day execution of your budget should be entirely automated, your financial landscape will change over time. Once a year, sit down to review your systems. Have your income levels changed? Have your financial goals shifted? Are your investments performing as expected? Adjust your automated transfers accordingly. If you receive a raise, do not simply absorb it into your lifestyle category. Increase your automated investment contributions first, ensuring that your wealth grows in tandem with your career. Conclusion: stepping into your new financial reality. Budgeting is not a punishment. It is the ultimate tool for self-empowerment. It is the process of aligning your financial resources with your deepest life goals. By following these 3 simple steps, conducting a ruthless financial audit, allocating your income proportionally, and automating your systems, you remove the stress and anxiety that usually surround money management. Remember, financial success is rarely the result of a single massive windfall. It is the result of mastering basic rules, understanding the crucial difference between an asset and a liability, and consistently applying sound habits over time. The math behind wealth creation is remarkably simple. It is the discipline to execute the math that sets successful people apart. Take the first step today. Confront your numbers and begin building the financial foundation that will support you for the rest of your life.